It's that time of the year to talk about Valve and neglecting Team Fortress 2.
I don't know how a video game can be so successful and yet so neglected, especially given the pedigree of this game and the daily number of players that it attracts. You would think that it would be the number one priority to maintain this game, to ensure its health. But Team Fortress 2, ladies and gentlemen,
Well, the fact that you think that shows that you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. 99% of the Team Fortress 2 player base is bots, unironically. Now, there's still a lot of people, admittedly, playing it, and it's a great game that I have, I think, a couple of 100 hours in, if not 1,000. It's still great, but it should not even be Valve's top priority in the slightest. The reality, sadly, is.
the fans are sick and tired of it. You can see right here, if you go to SteamDB, the fact that this game is not only successful, but it's consistently growing. I mean, the most recent all-time peak was 11 months ago. The game peaked at over 200, almost 254,000 players. And on a daily basis, this game attracts tens of thousands of players, almost 100,000 players every single day. And so you would think that it would be Valve's number one priority to consistently maintain this game, to consistently resolve its issues, and to consistently ensure.
If there was money to be made in the hats, Valve would do it. But the reality is no. And Valve knows how many bots are botting TF2 in the reality. And it's a lot. It's the vast majority of the player base. And Valve wants TF to appear at the top of the most played games, obviously. Because it's a great game and people will try it and people will like it. But again, that does not mean that Valve wants to get rid of the bots. They don't want to do that in the first place. That's the reality.
That Team Fortress 2 has a viable long-term future, given how much money the game can make for them and given how beloved this game is. But alas, this is just not what's been happening, which has led to recent reviews diving into an overwhelmingly negative score of 15% from over 38,000 user reviews. That's one of the lowest user-rated games of all time on the platform, and a lot of people believe that this is well-deserved because of the fact that Valve just has not fixed Team Fortress 2 in far too long and far too many years.
Remember last year when Half-Life got an update and Team Fortress 2 didn't? Oh, that was great. That was great. When a 20-year-old game gets an update before you.
Which is why this movement has started from fans. It's called hashtag Fix Team Fortress 2. So here's what this tweet reads like. It's time to get together and take a stance. Fix Team Fortress 2 June 3rd. Get ready to put the issue at hand in the spotlight. Enough is enough. Learn more at save.teamfortress or TF. Wow. You can see right here the kind of traction that this movement has been garnering.
Yeah, people love TF2, and there's a good reason why. TF2 is an amazing game still. Really fun, especially with friends.
Tweet alone, 2.3 million views and over 23,000 likes. And if you take a look at hashtag Fix Team Fortress 2 or hashtag Save Team Fortress 2, you'll find scrolling down that there are thousands of posts with a lot of traction, tons of likes, that are discussing this issue, that there is only so much of this fans can take before this becomes egregious, especially because this game is monetized. And a lot of people have invested a lot of time and money into this title, and they want to feel like their investment isn't being neglected and ignored. They want to feel like they can rely on this game for the long term instead of it being so infested by bots and hackers and whatnot that it's just not possible to really play this game anymore, at least not in a safe way. So going to the save.
Hackers? I mean, it's been like literally years since I have played TF last time. Hackers were not a problem then. Interesting.
TF website, you'll find that there's a petition here, and it is crazy how many people have already signed this. Over 265 1,000 signatures on this thing. There are not many petitions that gain this kind of traction, which highlights the passion that the Team Fortress 2 community has for the game, and just how big the community is and how much Valve owes it to them, given the support they've provided to this game to just fix the game and to ensure that it is playable. The website also does a great job of breaking down exactly what the issues are, from cheaters to hackers, you name it. So aimbots is kind of one of the major issues here, where it just makes the game completely unfair to those who are playing without cheats. For the past 5 years, Team Fortress 2 has become nearly unplayable. The game's official servers have been over.
Wait, yeah, 5 years sounds about right when I played TF last time. Huh. So so the last time I played was in the good days when aimbots were not a thing? Mamma mia.
Overrun by hordes of cheating aimbots, while Valve has remained steadfast in their refusal to adequately tackle the problem. This lack of developer interference has thrown the game into a state of turmoil with seemingly no end in sight. And then the second paragraph highlights how egregious it is that there's so little attention put towards this game, given that they're still generating a lot of money from the title through microtransactions, and it feels like they're all focused on the monetization aspect of this game and not on, the playability of it. And people need to have a playable game to feel like their investment in the microtransactions are worth it. So it just feels like their priorities are off kilter when it comes to Team Fortress 2. This site also highlights that it's not just about how the experience of playing the game is ruined, but also about how playing the game is...
Dude, this site is pretty good. Like, everything in the site feels like Team Fortress 2, I'm not gonna lie. The person who made it really, really loves TF.
Actually dangerous now because of malicious actors who use their aimbots as a vessel to endlessly attack and harass community members. They abuse the in-game text and voice chats to spread the most vile hate speech imaginable, while simultaneously advertising their bot immunity services in an attempt to scam the players desperately looking for a solution. They've used the same means to dox people's personal information and broadcast it to the player base against their will. Bot hosters have gone as far as to commit actual crimes, like using AI voice modifiers to impersonate and slander non-consenting parties, launching persistent DDoS attacks, and have even swatted one of their most ardent critics. It's actually a safety concern to play this game. It's an actual hazard to engage with this title because of malicious actors that are not being
okay, wow, this is a little bit more high on octane than I expected.
Dealt with. There are just not enough security measures in place. There's no system in place to enforce certain sensible rules and policies. There's no anti-cheat measures whatsoever. It is just Wild West for cheaters, hackers, and malicious actors. They can just kind of go in there and do whatever they want without consequences, and that just shouldn't be for any online game of this magnitude that attracts this many players, a live service that is so thriving. The website then proceeds with their mission statement, which is to essentially amass all of these signatures, as well as screenshots, videos, stories, and whatnot surrounding all of the issues of this game, and send all of those to Valve so they'll listen, disrupt in a peaceful manner.
Okay, this is the biggest that we have ever gotten so far in this. Wow, that is honestly impressive. Because there's a thing about Team Fortress 2 being, botted and whatnot every year, honestly. And this time it actually garnishes results. Wow, interesting. Very cool. Very cool. Should probably sign that thing.
General goal is to send Valve a message and to spread word about this as much as possible so that eventually Valve will...
Also, TF is timeless. That's the thing about the game. It is timeless. If I went back and played TF now, I would call it a good game, like I did the last time 5 years ago or something. Because it is. The graphics, they're not the best, but they hold up. They don't feel out of date. They feel good. The gameplay feels good. Everything's good.
Will have no choice but to take some action because the PR will become too bad for the company to handle. It's also emphasized by this website that the reason the community has taken it this far is because they really, really care. This game has been out for 17 years now. A lot of people still consider it to be a masterpiece. They really want this game to thrive. You don't get over 265,000 signatures on a petition in a matter of days if a game is not truly beloved. And the fact that Valve is doing such a disservice to a game that is so beloved, that is so rare in how much a community loves it, and how...
Oh, Valve's gonna respond to this. There's no way they just keep it like this. Now, admittedly, Valve could not respond to this, wouldn't be the first time, but they have to. This is a lot of signatures and whatnot. This is kind of, yeah, this is the craziest it has ever been. Huh? I thought that this is just gonna be another, well, there's bots farming items and whatnot, but no, this is way worse. Wow.
Much it has stood the test of time. I just don't understand why they can't dedicate some resources, manpower, which they absolutely have. As the website emphasizes here, this game doesn't need new microtransactions at this stage. It doesn't need new weapon additions. What it needs is a solution to the bot crisis. It first needs to be playable before people feel motivated to buy its various items sold through the shop. To close things off, the website details how
Did you ever buy items in the shop? I never bought items in the shop in TF.
anyone can help. Basically, you...
Well, to be fair, I play Spy, so, you know, there's Deathringer and, you know, one other watch and everything else is like, okay.
Use the hashtag FixTF2 or hashtag SaveTF2 and just spread the word through various social media platforms and sign the petition and you name it. Basically, spread word about the fact that this movement is happening, and from the looks of it, it's going pretty damn strong. Though whether Valve will actually react to this, well, that remains to be seen, because they really don't need to. They have such a good standing with Steam alone. They're making so much money off of that, and that allows them to become so complacent. So the hope is that this will appeal to their better nature and convince them that they have...
The fact that TF2 is bought, that does not mean that Valve is complacent, Young. Please.
a great thing going here, and why not keep it going? The players who play this game get to have an awesome communal experience on a daily basis ad infinitum, and Valve gets to profit off of that as a company, and there gets to be a mutually beneficial relationship, but only if Valve is also willing to do their part. Even voice actors like...
Yeah, Valve should also give a part of their earnings to the community. Ain't that right, Young?
Robin Atkin Downs, who voices the medic and understands the love that the community have for Team Fortress 2 and values this community, is speaking out, saying, "It makes me sad to see so many of you upset about the current state of Team Fortress 2. As your medic, I wish I could heal you all and heal the game." And in follow-up tweets, he, in a fake typed German accent, he basically kind of shows empathy towards the community and shows support for the fixed...
No, this is a dude. No, this is a guy. Okay? Voice actor for the medic, and he's going full medic. Nice.
TF2 and Save TF...
Well, this is effectively what the TF community is in general. Admirable.
...to movement, saying that, yeah, he wants things to be better for this game because, you know, he loves playing this character. He sees the passion of the community, and he feels like the community deserves better. Like, I don't know of any other company that...
Well, it's true. The community definitely deserves better. But now Valve will respond in this case. It's just too much, right? It's just too much. You know, it has garnered too much attention. They will respond. There's no way they don't, right? Interesting. But again, Valve likes the fact that TF is botted because it's always in the top player, the top player search thing or whatever it's called. Don't know. So they kind of like it. Well, they could always just get rid of some of the bots, or just get rid of the aim bots, because the reality of TF is that there's a lot of bots, but they're just effectively AFKing and getting item drops. That's what the bots are doing. They're just there to sell, to get items and sell them, and that's pretty much it. Not actually a big deal. But again, probably 99% of the player base for TF is botted at this point. That is the brutal reality of the game.
That could take such a successful product that remains...
And by the way, why am I saying this with such confidence? Because we have seen moments in history when the botting stops. and then it's literally like, 1K players online. We have seen this. It's not botted by multiple people. It's actually botted by a very few individuals. That's also a key thing about this.
Remain successful after 17 years, and that will likely remain successful for many more years to come, and decide, why do we want to bother with it? But at the same time, the community has to do its part, and it's not about just spreading awareness and kickstarting a movement. It's also about doing what's most effective against companies, which is hitting their wallets. It means refusing to engage with the microtransactions, refusing to give money to the game, and
Okay, Young, relax. Yes, we should nationalize Valve. I get it. It is what it is. Anyway,
stay
that was
tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time.
Youngie
Young out.
outie. Beautiful. He's so proud every time. I am too, Young. I am too. Anyway, this was Cruiser Citizen. Bye-bye.